Welcome to Fashion, Faith, and Flair, and today's Fashion and Faith message is inner beauty. Beauty isn't about having a pretty face. It's about having a pretty mind, a pretty heart, and a pretty soul. Our faces are an outward expression of what is going on in our hearts, minds, and souls. Our beauty changes. It doesn't fade with each passing year. We grow in wisdom, and there is a renewal of our spirits. 2 Corinthians 4:16 says, "Therefore we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day." Now, a lot of us do not like that part of though outwardly we are wasting away. We have to remember, yes, we're born. And then, of course, everyone knows that we're going to die at some point in life and that we get older. And I'm all about embracing age and not being ashamed of what that number is, because it is about a renewal of our spirits. I remember when I was in college, my English lit teacher was in her 70s. She was very open to us in class of how old she was. And I remember looking at her. I was a 19-year-old. And I looked at her and I thought, oh my God, this woman is so beautiful. She had these sparkly blue eyes. She came to class wearing these very pretty pastel dresses, and she had the most beautiful silver hair. And all I could think to myself was, I hope that when I get to be her age, I could only look as beautiful as she does today. So how we feel about our inside and how we show up in the world by our outside tells a lot about what's going on. Do we dress like we don't care? I mean, I remember there was a time in life that I went 3 months and didn't wear makeup. And I'm a person that's been wearing makeup since I was a teenager, so it's something that I do normally every day. And for those 3 months, I didn't wear any makeup at all. And there was something going on with me. I was depressed. And I didn't show up in the world. I showed up exactly what was going on in the inside of me. And I realized after that experience that no matter what is going on in my life, I feel better when I wear makeup and when I dress up. And so I made a vow at that point that I wasn't going to do that again. I was going to not be in that same place that I'd been in. So God does look at our hearts, and our hearts can reflect where we are in the world and how we feel about ourselves. Our faith is stronger than wisdom, experience, and guiding of the Holy Spirit. Our faith gets stronger day by day. And when I think about how I dress, as far as what's going on in the inside of me, which obviously we have the Spirit of Christ, or the Holy Spirit, who lives inside of us. And that's a beautiful thing, because we should be able to see the light of Christ in our eyes. But also, when you think about what you wear every day, like what accessories you wear and what clothing you wear, that can show up with what's going on in the inside. Let me give you an example. Like maybe one day I just want to wear a hoodie. I don't want to leave the house. That can affect my mood. And now, dressing up's not for everyone. And I'm not here to be a proponent to tell you what to wear. I'm just telling you that fashion and the flair that you bring to the world, it's window dressing. But it also, you open up that curtain and people can see what's inside of you. So I say dress to enhance your inner spirit. Whatever that is and whatever you're comfortable with, think about that. Just enhance whatever is inside of you. Dress for who you are, not for who you aren't. And that's extremely important, because if you have lived on this earth for many decades, you should know who you are. You should know who you are. You are your own best friend, and you should love yourself And I can think for many years, I didn't love myself. I was looking for external things to make me happy. I thought that if I could get a couple pats on the back from achieving something at my work, or if I could buy something else for the house, everything around me, when I wasn't dealing with what was going on inside of me. Now, I had Christ in my heart, I just turned my back on him. And I've talked about that before. And that was a choice that I made, and it was, quite frankly, a stupid choice, but I digress. So dress for who you are, not for who you aren't. And that brings me to dress your beautiful body from love, not shame. There's a lot of shame in our culture, especially for women, on what our bodies are like, and what there's a standard and what we feel like we should look like. And years ago, even before the internet, I made the choice not to buy fashion magazines, because every time I bought a fashion magazine, it was telling me everything that I was not and how to get there. And you talk about depressing, especially looking at the pictures of these beautiful models, and those photos were touched up. I mean, think about it today, even with the way social media is, we use filters, we try to take that best selfie. And that brings me to my next point, which is don't compare yourself to other people. That's a sure way of not feeling that inner beauty, is to compare yourself to someone else. So I am a big proponent of just loving yourself where you're at. When I was over 300 pounds, I didn't love myself very much. And that definitely was reflected in how I dressed my body. I wore clothes that were 5 times too big. And even when I started releasing weight, and I use the word release because if I lose weight, I can find it. So when I was on that weight release journey, I started really dressing very uniquely and embracing each stage of the journey, not thinking about, well, once I get all these hundreds of pounds off, I think I'll start dressing better. No. And that's why I went to a lot of thrift stores and estate sales, because I knew I was on this journey and I wanted to look good, but I didn't want to spend a lot of money. Anyway, inner beauty starts with being loving to yourself. And when you love yourself, then you can show up in the world, you can love others, and definitely you're showing that you love God. When you love others, you love God. And I just, again, think back to that professor that I had. She was the most beautiful woman I had ever seen. And I'd only been on the planet for 19 years at that point in time. So I would love to hear any comments you have about your thoughts about inner beauty, or anything else that you want to comment about your style or fashion or your faith, anything. And I would appreciate if you would like the video, and if you want to subscribe, just hit the subscribe button. So I hope you have a faith-filled, fashionable day.